Good evening and welcome to the YouTube channel, How to Get an 800 Credit Score. My name is Lyndon Baptiste, and welcome to all. And thank you so much to our 1,020 subscribers that we have right now on our channel. I want to thank you guys so much for subscribing because we know that without you guys, this channel would not be possible. So I want to thank you guys for all of your support too also as well. So I do want to mention that this is our regular live stream that we have every Wednesday here on this channel at 8:15 p.m. Central Time. So we'll be live here every Wednesday at 8:15 p.m. Central Time. So thank you so much for all those who have joined too also as well. And I want to say, everyone, please give a warm welcome to Brian Taylor. Brian Taylor, thank you so much, buddy, for joining us and coming back once again. Really appreciate you, buddy. And everyone, Brian Taylor has his own YouTube channel, guys. He talks about some credit repair too and ways to dispute negative items off of your credit report too also as well. He's been doing it for about 5 years, and the guy, is very knowledgeable, knows a lot about what he's talking about too also as well too. So guys, if you're watching this channel, don't worry. I may look different today, but it's me, it's Lyndon. And I just look a little different because I dyed my beard. As you guys can see, I dyed it black, shaved my head, and my hat. I'm kind of is in cleaning right now, cleaning the hat. So yeah, it's a different look. Hope you guys like it. But yeah, Janelle was kind of pressing me about doing this, because I used to do this like years ago. And Janelle was just like, I miss that guy. I miss that guy that I met years ago, So after a while, I just decided to do it. So this is it. Don't worry, it's me, and it's Lyndon. Um, so, by the way, if you are new to this channel, my name is Lyndon Baptiste, and you're on the channel How to Get an 800 Credit Score inside of our live streams. And thank you so much for coming to also as well. So, yeah, Brian Taylor has his own YouTube channel, guys, and talks about credit repair. So go ahead and click on his name, click on go to channel, click on subscribe, and click the bell for notification also, so that way you would never miss a single video that he makes on his channel too also as well. So everyone, please welcome Brian Taylor. Also, I want to give a warm welcome to Dead Mouse. Dead Mouse, thank you so much for coming today. Really appreciate you, buddy. And also Dead Mouse, guys, has his own YouTube channel too also as well, and he also talks about credit repair. So guys, you want to go ahead and click on his name, click on go to channel, and then click on subscribe and the bell for notifications. That way you won't miss any of his videos too also as well. So welcome, Dead Mouse. Dead Mouse says, what's up, Chan? Brian Taylor says hi. Janelle Leone, everyone, please give a warm welcome to Janelle Leone. She's one of our moderators here, helps us out a lot. She's truly a blessing to the group. I just need to turn some light on here. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I forgot to turn the light on. Is that a little better, the light, or is that too bright? Let me know by typing the number 1 if you can see me clearly here on the camera. So guys, Janelle is truly a blessing to our group too also as well, because she's a moderator and she helps us to answer questions too also as well. So guys, feel free, if you'd like to help out answering some questions too also as well, you can feel free to do so. Janelle says, yes, we have a new change of our favorite person, Lyndon. Yeah, I just talked about that in the beginning there, Janelle. How, I look a little different. That's Janelle right there saying hi. She's pointing to me and giving the thumbs up. Yeah, it's just like patting my head. I shaved my head bald.
Don't look better.
So also, everyone, please give a warm welcome to Ronald Anderson. Ronald Anderson, thank you so much for joining us, buddy. It's really a pleasure to see you back again. And Ronald Anderson says, hi, how are you doing, Lyndon and Janelle? I'm doing fine. Janelle says she's doing fine too also as well. We have our first super chat. Wow, what a way to start off the live stream with a super chat. Thank you so much, Brian Taylor.
Thank you, Brian Taylor.
Okay, I hope you can hear that. That was Janelle. She said thank you. And really appreciate all the support, Brian. Thank you so much. Brian says, sending you some love. Yes, thank you so much for that, Brian. Really appreciate that also as well. Jason Van Hughes, everyone, please give a warm welcome to Jason Van Hughes. Jason, welcome back again, buddy. It's always good to have you here in our live streams because you add so much value to the group too, also as well. Really appreciate you. Jason says, "What's up, buddy? Love the beard, bro." Yeah, I guess it was a quick 5 minute thing that I did there. So I really didn't really do a perfect job on it. You know what I mean? But I was really in a rush because it was like 8:09, and I was like, me and Janelle was talking. We were like, you know what? You got to hurry up, babe, because you got to do this beard and all of this. You know, she really wanted me to do it, you know, because it only takes like 5 minutes to do it. So I did it. I'm sorry if I came a little late to the live stream tonight, guys, but I'm here. Um, and Janelle says, oh, so thank you so much for saying you like the beard. Jason, hope you like it. Hope all you guys like it too, also as well. Janelle Leone says, please hit the thumbs up and let Lyndon know how good he is looking now. Thank you, Janelle, for that. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Um, Ronald Anderson says, you looking good, champ. Thank you so much for that, Ronald Anderson. Cliff Peters, everyone, please give a warm welcome to Cliff Peters. Cliff Peters says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Cliff, and welcome back once again. It's always a pleasure, you know, to have you here, Cliff Peters, too, also as well. And also, I wanted to mention, guys, you know, we would like if everyone please join our Facebook credit group. It's our credit building community that we're trying to build. And the name of the credit group is called How to Get Excellent Credit. So that's our Facebook group on Facebook. So to join there, the link can be found in the bottom of the About section of this channel. To also of this channel, you can find all the links there to follow me on Facebook, to follow me on Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, and all of the social media networks too there also as well. So feel free to go ahead and do so. A lot of people have told me it's better communication between me and them. So that way I can, you know, better help them, you know, with their credit and help them boost their credit scores too also as well. A number of people that I've been working with have been getting credit boosts lately, increases in their credit score. And Janelle and I are so happy for all of you guys that I've been messenger and, you know, and that sort. So I really am proud of all of you guys, you know, for getting, you know, points added onto your credit scores too also as well. So Janelle wanted to say hello to all. Janelle says hello to all my favorite live chat subscribers, people, families here. And she says, what's up to Brian Tiller and Dead Mouse. Right now, we have 8 people with us here in the live stream with us tonight. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us tonight. We really appreciate all of you, too, also as well. And, guys, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button because it really helps out the channel tremendously. The thumbs up is underneath the video, and it really sends a great message to YouTube and helps out with the YouTube algorithms too also as well. So if you're new to this channel and you've been watching the videos for a while, you know, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And when you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications and make sure that you select all notifications. So that way you'll receive all notifications of videos as we make them here on this channel too also as well. So it's very important that you select all notifications when you hit subscribe. If you're not sure if you hit all notifications or not, you can just go back to the home page in this channel. And if you do not see a bell that looks like this with the brackets over it, then you know you need to hit that bell one more time and select all notifications so that way you will not miss any of the videos. I just wanted to mention that because some of my subscribers said, you know, they said to me, you know, Lyndon, I didn't know you was, you know, doing a live stream. I didn't know you did a video the other day. I missed this video. I missed that live stream. Yeah, you know, so basically, The reason is because you need to definitely select all notifications, so that way you will not miss any live streams or any videos here, on this channel too, also as well. So also when you do that, you will be able to receive all the notifications from the community tab. These are messages that I send out to the community, letting you guys know about important information, maybe important updates too, regarding the channel, regarding credit, things like that that you need to know about too, also as well. So thank you guys for joining. Also, we have our Patreon. That we're new to Patreon because our channel is still brand new. We just started the channel in April 11th. So we've been kind of like trying a new Patreon memberships for our channel too, also as well. So guys, if you want to support the channel, go over to Patreon and you can feel free to sign up for one of our memberships that we offer there on Patreon too, also as well. So thank you guys for coming. Right now we have 10 people with us tonight in the live stream. Thank you so much to all 10 of you that are here right now. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get into today's topic of today's live stream with you guys. Uh, and it's not going to be that long of a live stream. I know I've said that before, but the last time we did a live stream, we were pretty good with, doing it in about an hour's time or so. So I do thank you guys for watching too, also as well. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now. So as always, guys, when I share the screen with you guys, you can feel free to continue to comment as you normally do, because I will recognize your comments while I'm doing the topic. So it's okay to continue to comment, and if you have any special questions or things you want to add, go ahead, feel free to leave those in the comments too, also as well. So if you can see the screen clearly, just go ahead and type the number 1 in the comments. Uh,
Even though some people may be on Democratic side, some may not, but this is only just.
Okay. Janelle type number 1. Okay, thank you so much for that, Janelle. And um, Janelle was saying basically that, I don't know if you guys heard her, but she was saying that, trying not to make this a political topic. Some people may be Democrat, some people may be Republican. That's good for you. That's great. That's awesome. But I'm not going to take any political view, regarding this topic. The only reason why we're including it in tonight's live stream is because it has to do with credit and our credit building community. It can affect all of us, in some way or another. Okay, Cliff Peters types the number 1. Thank you so much for that, Cliff Peters. Tech Guide Diva 2011 types number 1. Thank you so much, Tech Eyes. And everyone, please give a warm welcome to Tech Eye Diva 2011. I believe Tech Eye Diva is a new person. The first time I've seen you here in a live stream, but I want you to know that you are always welcome here in all of our live streams. So, thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate that you're here. Okay, so as you can see, guys, the title, we're going over an article here. We found here on marketwatch.com. This one came out July 10th. So I believe it came out yesterday, but it was just updated today. Okay, and it's about Kamala Harris and what she said about credit scores. And she believes that credit scores should be included in rent. They should include rent, cell phones, and utilities. In other words, she's trying to say that credit bureaus should report these. These companies should report these to the credit bureaus. Excuse me. Legislation to reform how credit scores are created has received bipartisan support. And Kamala Harris is calling for reforms to the way in which credit scores are calculated in order to boost Black home ownership. Okay. Senator Kamala Harris wants to add more data to how credit bureaus calculate credit scores as part of a broader plan to address the black home ownership gap in the U.S. The Democratic presidential candidate from California unveiled her plan last week during an appearance at the Essence Festival in New Orleans, an annual music and cultural festival sponsored by Essence magazine. Harris called for amending the Fair Credit Reporting Act to require credit reporting agencies to include payments of rent, cell phone bills, and utilities when calculating credit scores. There are an estimated 26 million people who are credit invisible, and another 19 million who are said to have unscorable files. And according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, these people don't have enough bank or credit unions accounts to have a credit score by today's standards. Sneaky 25, everyone, please give a warm welcome to Sneaky 25. Welcome back, Sneaky. Sneaky says, "What's up, Lyndon and good people?" Yes. What's up, Sneaky? How you doing, buddy? And everyone, also please give a warm welcome to Spence Eccles. Spence Eccles.
Hi, Sneaky 25.
And Janelle just said hi to you, Sneaky. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to Spence Eccles. Spence Eccles says, "Hello, everyone." And thank you so much for coming, guys. So, according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, so basically, there's 26 million people that are credit invisible, and another 19 million who have unscorable files. So, there's a lot of people, as you can see, from what they're saying, that don't have credit. Okay, that they don't use credit. Maybe the reason why they don't have scorable files is because of that reason. These people don't have enough bank or credit union accounts to have a credit score by today's standards. While the traditional FICO score, named after Fair Isaac Corporation, plus 0.80%, mainly considers payments on debt, such as credit cards, mortgages, and auto loans, the credit scores have always been designed to consider telecommunications and utility payments since they were first released in 1989, said Joanne Gaskin, Vice President of Scores and Analytics at FICO. The latest version of the credit score, FICO Score 9, is also designed to incorporate rent data. Okay, so basically, if you guys have been, keeping up to date with, current events in our community, the FICO Score 9 is something that just, pretty much we've been finding out about. Actually, I found out about this last year, toward between the middle of last year and the end of last year, that they were going to try to include people's bank statements, people's utility bills, cell phone bills, rental payments into their credit scores. Okay, and that's what they exactly did. And some of the big banks, I won't say a lot of, but some of the big banks have already chosen to start using the FICO 9, including Wells Fargo. Okay, so Wells Fargo is now using the FICO 9. And this FICO 9, from what we found out about this, guys, is that this is more like a choice. It is a choice for these banks to make. It is nothing that is mandatory. They don't have to use a FICO 9 if they don't want to. But many banks are still using the FICO 8 scoring model currently right now too, also as well. And depending on what you're applying for, they can use different scoring models. Like, for example, like if you're applying for a mortgage, there's another, a different set of FICO scoring models that they use to go by for mortgages. And if you want more details about mortgages and what FICO scores that they use, that lenders use, you can definitely take a look at a video that I made. It was a live stream, and the title of that live stream is how to get your credit ready to buy a home. So that is very detailed, and it's a pretty long video, but it goes into a lot of details about buying a home, and if you're planning, if you're looking for a USDA loan, and it compares mortgage lenders from the top four mortgage lenders and the top four USDA loans too, also as well. It goes into a lot of details on that. Okay, so the problem is that the necessary data hasn't been collected. FICO relies on consumer data gathered by the three major credit reporting agencies, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, to produce its scores for consumers. But those agencies don't have much of this alternative data. Okay. So it's true. A lot of these agencies don't have some of this alternative data. I mean, Experian does. Experian, they came up with the Experian Boost. So that is one credit bureau where they have that data available. Today, we have a voluntary system of furnishing data, which means not all providers report payment information to the CRAs, the credit reporting agencies, Gaskin said. For instance, while roughly 92% of U.S. consumers have cell phones, only 5% of consumers have telecommunications related data in their credit bureau files. Okay. So I believe a lot of consumers don't know about this yet, especially the Experian Boost. Because I talked to many people and they never heard of it before. When I tell them you can get a few points on your experience score by using Experian Boost. You can get your rent reported, your utilities reported, your cell phone bills reported to the credit bureau, and they're like, wow, news. So a lot of people don't know about it yet. We applaud Senator Harris's proposal to responsibly expand access to credit through the use of alternative data such as telco, utility, and rent payments, and bringing greater attention to the lack of this information being reported to the three major credit bureaus, the CRAs. Gaskin added. Legislation to amend the Fair Credit Reporting Act has already received bipartisan support. So this legislation that Kamala Harris is trying to submit to Congress, they're saying it has already received support from both Democrats and Republicans too, also as well. A bill introduced in 2017 by former House Representative Keith Ellison, a Democrat from Minnesota, that would require this additional data in credit scoring managed to pass the House of Representatives. Okay, so I guess if you guys know a little about politics, it does take a bill would have to pass the House of Representative, to make it into the Senate. And then once it makes it into the Senate, then there's a process that they go through. And then from that point, it can be either approved by the president or it can be vetoed by the president too, also as well.
Thank you, Spence.
Oh, Janelle said, you hear that, Spence? Janelle said, thank you. I guess we have a super chat here. Wow, from Spence Eccles. Spence Eccles, thank you so much for that $2 super chat. Way to go to support the channel. Really appreciate you, Spence. Thank you so much, buddy. It really means a lot to the channel. Thank you so much. It says the Senate version of this bill, which was authored by Senator Tim Scott, a Republican from South Carolina, attracted both Democrat and Republicans co-sponsors, though Harris was not among them. Okay, that's interesting. Harris was not among the ones who supported the bill. Okay. Scott's bill, which FICO supports, would also encourage telecommunications and utility companies and landlords to supply credit bureaus with information regarding on-time or delayed payments. Okay, so guys, if this bill happens to pass the Senate and happens to go through and get passed as law, um, that would be, definitely a good time to make sure that you're not late on any rent payments or late on any utility payments or even late on your cell phone bill, guys, because as it's saying here, they're talking about telecommunications and utility payments and landlords, okay, to supply credit bureaus with information regarding on time or delayed payments. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. I mean, it is a good practice, though. I mean, if you don't pay your rent, I mean, one day you're not going to have a place to live, obviously. You don't pay your utilities, then, your lights could get shut off, your internet could get shut off, all these things. So it's just goes without saying. It's the things that we already know. And previous legislation that was signed into law by President Trump included provisions that sought to broaden the range of information lenders consider when underwriting mortgages. Okay, so I guess President Trump had signed some legislation into law that kind of expanded this information that lenders would consider when they're doing the underwriting for approving mortgages or not approving mortgages, when they're reviewing mortgage applications, basically. The 2018 bill that rolled back Obama era financial regulations required Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to accept loans that lenders provided using alternative forms of credit scores in the underwriting process. Okay. Meanwhile, companies have developed alternative credit scores, such as the FICO XD, that rely on data from sources other than the major credit bureaus to assess consumers' credit worthiness. Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion have also developed the Vantage score as a competitor to FICO. While the score relies on the same data as traditional FICO scores, the data is weighted differently. Okay, so you ever wondered why some Vantage scores are different than FICO scores? Well, they're telling you right now that the data is weighted differently. Okay, I don't think they get into too much detail about why it's different, but they just, made a brief statement that the data is weighted. You know, that's the difference. Experian also has a tool that would include certain utility accounts included in your credit report. Yes, already talked about that. It's called Experian Boost. So if any of you guys have any questions about how to get your utility payments or your cell phone payments or your rent payments reported to Experian or TransUnion, definitely let me know. You can shoot me a comment or you can contact me at any one of the links at the bottom of the About section of this channel. Or you could just leave a comment if you're here on the live stream. But if you're watching the replay to this live stream, then you want to definitely uh, utilize the comments or the bottom of the About section of this channel to send me a message and if you have any questions about that. Proponents of alternative credit scoring models argue that millions more Americans would be able to loans if their credit scores were calculated using additional data such as rent and utility payments. Okay, so yeah, they're saying here uh, these alternative the people who pretty much are pushing these alternative credit scoring models like Experian, for example, they are, and maybe Vantage, they're arguing this right here, that people's credit, if they included people's rent and utilities payments, then more people would have access to loans. Okay. However, others have argued that the added data alone may not be much of a game changer in terms of creating a new pool of potential home buyers. The 2008 legislation, for instance, did not require lenders to abandon the traditional FICO score altogether. As a result, some argued lenders may choose to ignore the alternative scores, or if they use them, consider those borrowers to be riskier and thus charge them a higher interest rate. Okay, so this is part of the reason why they want to push this through the Senate. They want to push it through the House of Representatives and the Senate to pass this bill into law, because even the way that they have, like for example, Experian Boost and FICO 9 set up right now, banks can still look at a applicant as a potential high risk. They can still look at them as a high risk, even though they may have a good FICO 9 score because they been using Experian Boost, or they've been reporting their rent payments, or they've been, reporting their utilities and cell phone payments. The bank can still look at them as a high risk. You know, so it is still possible. I mean, there's still, like they said here, most of them are still going by that FICO 8, the old FICO 8 model. Okay. Others have also suggested consumers' credit scores could potentially go down if this traditional data is added in earnest to the calculations. Okay, so that's interesting. They're saying people's credit scores can go down if they were to possibly put this law into effect. Okay. For instance, utility companies can already report late payments to credit bureaus, but typically only do so after several months have passed. If utility companies were obliged to report all consumer payment information to the credit reporting agencies, consumers could be dinged for a single late payment. Yeah, it's true. That is true. They got a good point there. I mean, just let's say, for instance, you're paying all your bills, and then all of a sudden something happened, and you made one late payment on your utility bill, your internet, for example, or your CenturyLink or Comcast, whatever it is you use. That could get reported to the credit bureau, and all of a sudden, you have a late payment on your credit report. Now, what are you going to do? That can be an issue for you. That would be an issue for you, per se, because then you'd have to seek alternatives for getting that late payment removed off of your credit report. And that's, can be a headache. Black and Hispanic consumers are more likely to be unscorable or credit invisible. About 15% of blacks and Hispanics are credit invisible, compared to 9% of whites and Asians, according to 2015 data from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. This disparity contributes to the racial gap in home ownership, Harris has argued. But they're talking about, for those of you who don't know, they're talking about Kamala Harris, who is a presidential candidate running for president. She's a Democrat and a senator too, also as well. And one of the few females who are running for president right now. The home ownership rate among white Americans is 73.2%, whereas the rate among black Americans is just 41.1%, per the U.S. Consensus Bureau. Okay, so they have a consensus. That's where they're getting their info from. She also proposed giving $100 billion in down payment and closing cost assistance, up to $25,000 per household, to help black families purchase homes in parts of the country that were traditionally redlined. And this term redline that they're using here is, I guess the meaning of it is that people of color were historically denied mortgages in those areas to purchase homes in those neighborhoods. Okay. So basically, guys, that was an article that we got here from Market Watch. You just saw this article. I saw this article yesterday, but it's saying it was published today. But I don't know how they must have republished it, I guess, because I did see that. Janelle and I saw that. Janelle was actually
I
the
saw it
first one
yesterday.
to find this article, and then she had shared it with me. So then when I looked over, I said, "Oh wow, okay, this kind of has something to do with credit and a credit building community." So I decided, this may be a good topic for our live stream tonight. So, guys, thank you guys so much for joining us. To also, as well, if you have any comments, about today's topic, you can go ahead and leave those in the comment section.
You can do another one, whatever you have written.
And if not, if you have a question about credit repair, improving your credit score, you can go ahead and leave that in the comments too. Also, as well, if you have a question about that. I do wanted to ask someone. I know someone got some good news. Who was it? I believe was that Jason. Jason Van Hughes. I believe. Didn't you get some good news the other day about your credit score going up? Is it okay if we share that?
We can
And
do that.
how much did your credit score go up? And I think you did tell me something like that recently. Your credit score had went up. Let's see, like so. Anyway, yeah, Jason's credit score did go up, and so everyone, please give a congratulations to Jason for that. You know, accomplishing that. That's a huge accomplishment too. Also, as well. And so, guys, if you have any questions, right now we have 11 people with us right now here inside of the live stream. And thank you so much to the 11 people that have joined us here tonight. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Really means a lot, to the channel. It definitely means a lot to the group and our community too, also as well. Right now, let's
How many
see.
thumbs up?
How many thumbs up? Janelle?
9.
Oh, okay. Janelle says we have 9 thumbs up right now. Thank you so much, guys, for the 9 thumbs up. Really appreciate that, guys. And also, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. You can find that underneath the video too. Also, as well, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button underneath the video. Hit the bell for notifications too. Also, as well, and make sure you select all notifications. That way, you would never miss a single video as we make them here on this channel too. Also, as well. So I do wanted to thank everyone who have participated in tonight's live stream too. Also, as well. And I do want to say, guys, we ask that everyone please join our Facebook credit group. It's called How to Get Excellent Credit, and that can be found on Facebook. You can find the links to the Facebook credit group there at the bottom of the About section of this channel. If you need to email me, you can find a link at the bottom of the About section of this channel to also to email me if you have any questions or comments to also as well. And you can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, and all the other social media networks. Those links can be found at the bottom of the About section of this channel, too, also as well. And to join our Patreon and support our channel, you can find a link there to join our Patreon at the bottom of the About section of this channel, too, also as well. And also, you can find my S Corporation there, Nurse Providers Incorporated. The link there to the website can be found in the bottom of the About section of this channel, too, also as well. So, since if I don't have any more comments right now, I'm going to go ahead and recognize everyone who have participated tonight in tonight's live stream. I do know it's kind of a short live stream right now. Janelle showed me some other information, but I think I might save that for another live stream later on. So, as tradition, first and foremost, I want to say a special thank you to Brian Taylor. Brian Taylor, thank you so much for that wonderful super chat that you gave. I really appreciate that, and it really helps us to make better videos and get better equipment when we get more support too also as well. So thank you so much for the $2 super chat too also as well. I also want to say a special thank you to Dead Mouse. Dead Mouse, thank you so much, buddy, for joining us once again, and welcome back, buddy. Really appreciate you. And also want to say a special thank you to Ronald Anderson. Ronald Anderson, thank you so much for joining, buddy. I really appreciate all that you contribute to our live streams, and glad to have you back once again. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to Jimmy Cave. Jimmy Cave, thank you so much for joining us once again. Welcome back, buddy. Jimmy Cave says politicians make promises. That's true. You're absolutely right, Jimmy. That sounds good, but there are always going to be an opposition. Absolutely. The Republicans represent the powerful, rich, white people who wants to make America great again. Okay, well, thank you so much for that comment, Jimmy. Really appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, you're right. I mean, politicians, they really do want to promise a lot, especially when they're like running for president. They want to promise the world. They want to paint a picture of a better world as them being president or governor or mayor or whatever they're trying to run for. And then a lot of times when they get to where they're trying to be, in other words, when they become governor or president, or the people that voted for them put them up in that powerful political position, then that's when they want to forget everything that they promised, their constituents, that supported them. And it's really a shame, how so many politicians have done that in the past and are still doing that. So, it's hard to believe, what's what nowadays. I mean, who do you really believe? I mean, which politician do you believe,
This is from another Democrat about the credit.
So, yeah, go ahead and share. I think Janelle wanted to share
It's not that
something.
long.
Oh, okay. Okay, Janelle wanted to share something here. Let's see, what do we have here? Okay, okay. Yeah, I think that's a pretty long article there. We'll save that for another live stream. So Jimmy Cave, thank you so much for sharing that, buddy. Really appreciate that too, also as well. So also want to say a special thank you to Jason Van Hughes. Jason Van Hughes, thank you so much, buddy, for participating in tonight's live stream. I really appreciate you, buddy. And welcome back once again. Really appreciate you and all that you do for the group. Want to say a special thank you to Cliff Peters. Cliff Peters, thank you so much for joining once again. I really appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much for joining the group. Jimmy Cave says Congress is divided. That's true. Congress is divided. I believe, what is it now, Jimmy? Is it 51 to 50, or is it 52 to 50? I haven't been keeping track of it, but I know it is divided for sure. Congress cannot get nothing done, and that's why local elections matters. Okay. So Jimmy just added something there about local elections and say that so local elections, he's saying that really matters. Uh, and Congress, when Congress is really divided like that, when it's like half of them is like Democrats, and then half of them is Republicans, and then it's like when it's time to vote and pass a law, when you need 60 votes to pass something, how do you get that done? I mean, when you have 50 people voting this way and another 50 people voting that way, I mean, that's really it's something else unless you get something that both sides of the aisle can agree on. I mean, if you get something, if they submit something that both sides of the aisle can agree on, like by some type of bipartisan support, then it'll be a lot easier to pass and get something done. You know.
Correct.
Jimmy Cave says Republicans have majority in Senate. Yep, that's true. And Democrats have majority in House. Yeah, so it's pretty much divided there.
Yep, they came back.
You know.
That is true, but I just hope everybody can agree on something
Yeah, Janelle was saying.
better, especially with this credit wars, include rent, cell phone, utilities, and so on.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard Janelle, but she's way over there across the room. But she said, is basically she hope everyone can agree on something because it's just silly. That I mean, what are they getting out of just not being able to get anything done? By focusing on things that they don't agree on, it's not. It's really not really productive because what are they getting past? When they can't agree on something and finally pass something. So she does have that's a good point there. Thank you for so much for sharing that. Everyone, also, I want to give a special thank you to Cliff Peters. Cliff Peters, thank you so much for joining us in another live stream. I really appreciate you, buddy. And also, a special welcome, and thank you to Techie Diva 2011. Techie Diva 2011, thank you so much for joining us in tonight's live stream. I want you to know you're always welcome in our live streams, and thank you so much for participating. I really appreciate you. Uh, Also, want to give a special thank you to Sneaky25. Sneaky25, thank you so much for joining us in tonight's live stream. I really appreciate you also as well. And I'm going to go ahead and jump back on the camera for you guys, as I always do after you know, after I've finished sharing the topic of today's live stream. So if you can see me clearly on the camera, just go ahead and type the number one inside of the comments. If you can see me clearly on camera, just type the number one inside of the comments. And if you cannot see me clearly, just let me know also inside of the comments as well. So I also want to give a special thank you to, did I say, I'm not sure if I said Sneaky25. Sneaky25, thank you so much for joining us, buddy. It's really a pleasure. Welcome back. I also want to give a special thank you to Spence Echoes. Spence Echoes, thank you so much for joining us in tonight's live stream. And you've really been a huge blessing to our group. Thank you so much. And welcome back again, Spence Echoes. And thank you so much for that $2 super chat, too, also as well. And as I'm mentioning super chats, I do want to say a special thank you to Spence Echoes and for a $2 super chat, and also to Brian Taylor for that the super chat too, also as well. So $2 super chat from Brian Taylor. Brian said sending you some love, and also guys, Brian has his own YouTube channel where he talks about credit repair and ways to dispute items off of your credit report, guys. So you want to definitely check out his channel. He has some good information to share with you guys too, also as well. So you want to go ahead and click on his name and click on go to channel. And when you get there, click on subscribe and the notifications, so that way you will not miss a single video as he makes them too, also as well. Jimmy Cave says uh, Republicans did pass tax cut for the rich in the first year of current administration when Republicans had majority in House and Senate. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I remember they did pass some tax cuts. I believe that was like back in the beginning of Trump's first term. Is that right? I think it was the beginning of his term in like 2017. I don't remember. I think it was like a couple years ago when they passed those tax cuts there, because they did have the majority. So they were, it's like very difficult for Democrats to, dispute. They can dispute all they want, but it's kind of difficult for them, to knock that down and prevent that from passing as a bill. when they don't have a strong position in the Senate. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that did happen. Thanks for sharing that, Jimmy K. Janelle Leone says, want to thank you for to everyone for coming on, and sorry of making this short live stream. Yeah, I had said I was gonna make a short live stream, Janelle, in the beginning. Yeah, I wasn't gonna make a 2 hour or 2.5 or 3 hour live stream tonight. We have done some pretty long live streams though. In the past, I think we hit a record one time of over three. What was that one? 3 hours and almost 4 hours. We did one. Was like three. I think it was 3 hours and 41 minutes. Yeah, because I mean we went into really deep, deep detail about this one particular topic, and it was you know, a pretty detail. Like I said, detail, lots of detail. So that's what stretched it out to like 3 hours and 41 minutes, almost 4 hours there. So Janelle says, Brian, are you going to make any new videos soon? Yeah, that's I would definitely would like to know that, Brian. We want you to make new videos and keep them coming, so that way, we could definitely keep aware of new information. For sure. Jimmy Cave says, which credit card pulls from Equifax?
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, so Equifax. Janelle's getting some information, but let me see if I remember which credit card pulls from Equifax. Equifax. I think I'm not sure. I could be mistaken.
Look.
It could be. I want to say Amex. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I want to go with Amex. I think Amex pulls from Equifax. If I'm
Equifax only or TransUnion?
No, he's talking about Equifax to know. So yeah, I could be wrong, but if I'm wrong, guys, please go ahead and correct me in the comments. Okay. So if you're new to building credit, there are lots of wonderful credit lines out there, trade lines out there. But I would suggest, like, if you're new to building credit, I would suggest like something like a Discover It card to try to get um, a secured credit card from Discover It. Being that they also, offer that 1% cash back, which is a good thing to have, and they actually match that cash back too at the end of the year. So that definitely, is an incentive, to apply to their card. But just keep in mind, however, that when you're trying to apply for a Discover It secured credit card and you're in the process of building credit, they do deny people, um, you know, they deny a lot of credit applications, even for the secured card too, also as well. And when I first heard about it too, I was surprised. I was like, wow, are they really denying people um, credit from a secured credit card? you know but it is true. I mean, there's many people that told me on Facebook when they first got denied about them getting denied from Discover. Actually, I got denied myself months ago when I tried to apply to Discover It secured credit card too also. And my situation was that I was on Credit Karma, and Credit Karma has this section, on their site. When after you log in, they give you your credit score, and then you scroll down, and they tell you what credit cards they recommend, and they tell you what credit cards you have a good approval for and very good approval, and they have like categories of which credit card you have the best chance of being approved for. So Discover It was on the list. So I figured out, okay, well, Credit Karma says I have good approval chances of getting this. So I just went ahead and I applied for it, right? So when I applied for it, then it came back denied. And I was shocked. I was like, well, because I didn't at first know about Credit Karma's pre-approval and their recommended credit cards, but I found out the hard way. Trust me. Okay, guys. So that's why I also made a video, right? Where I talk about this, and the title of the video is Credit Karma 100% accurate, and that's a question mark. And that talks about how you should not believe Credit Karma's recommendations nor their approval odds, because that could really get you in a jam with unnecessary hard inquiries. And it's possible, even if they're saying that you have good approval chances, it's possible they could deny you. They could deny someone. So yeah. Um, Janelle's trying to show me something, but
Answering his question.
oh, okay. Jimmy had a question about which credit card pulls from Experian, and there are several credit cards. Okay, yeah. Being that I was just talking about Discover here. All right, but that doesn't
Discover it.
Yeah, that's just the credit card.
I know what they pull
Okay,
from
here I
the.
don't know what you're trying to show me here,
No,
Janelle,
these are
but
the ones that pull from.
I guess there's a website that she's trying to show me here. But everyone, please give a warm welcome to Sherry Baker. Sherry Baker, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you. And it looks like you're also a new name here. So I do want to tell you, Sherry, that you're always welcome here inside of our live stream. So thank you so much for coming, Sherry. And Sherry says, hello, everyone. American Express normally pulls from Experian. Oh, okay. I thought I wasn't sure about my answer there, Jimmy, because I don't have an American Express card. I've only been building credit since October, and I have a high credit score, but I don't have an American Express card. But the only reason that I kind of had a good guess to that question was because I do have an authorized user account, and it's an American Express, and it does report on my TransUnion. I mean, not TransUnion, Experian. Yeah, that's right. So American Express, yeah, normally pulls from Experian, and from what I've heard and what I've been told, American Express is pretty lenient when it comes to like hard inquiries. Um, but right now, I'm not going to apply for any cards right now because my credit situation is that I'm letting my credit marinate right now. Kind of letting it marinate, and that's going to be for a while. I'm not trying to apply for any credit right now. You know, I do have quite a bit of inquiries right now, and I'm working on that. And hopefully, I can get some of those hard inquiries removed. And I probably still will not be applying for any new credit either. You know, because I guess Janelle and I were planning. Well, we're thinking about. I wouldn't say necessarily planning, but we're thinking about buying a home uh, sometime around the end of next year or 2021, the beginning of 2021, to also as well. And I do know that when buying a home, you need to be like 6 months to a year focusing on building credit, focusing on paying down your debts, not applying for new credit to also as well. And guys, we went over all of those points, tips. on how to get your credit ready for applying for a mortgage in that one live stream that we did. And the title of that is How to Get Your Credit Ready for Buying a Home. So if you want to check out that video is on this channel. So you can definitely find that. It's not in a playlist, but it's not too hard to find. Just click on videos and you should be able to pull it up. No problem. And if you're looking for trade lines that you can start building credit with, there's lots of trade lines that I have inside of a video called 90K in primary trade lines and AUs. Okay. And if you're looking for primary trade lines in your name that report to the credit bureaus every month, then that's a great video for you to go ahead and look at because it goes over several trade lines too, also as well. And I've used them too myself. Um, and like I said, they're in your name, and some of them do give high limits, and that's good because it helps with your credit utilization. It helps to keep that down, and you want to keep that below 7%. Okay, below 7%. And I've worked with simulators and credit simulators, that is, where they pretty much I can tweak it and I can find out how it would affect my credit score by using different percentages of credit utilization, you know. And I found huge differences. I found, basically, when your credit utilization, the lower your credit utilization, the higher your credit score is going to be. Okay, because you'll get the most amount of points in that category, and that accounts for 30% of your credit score.
Those are all the answer I just told you when you told me.
What you say, Janelle? Jimmy Cave says, I just logged on internet and two sources says the following pull from Equifax. Citibank, HSBC, Chase, Discover, and Wells Fargo.
Yep, told you.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And I believe, guys, there's also, thank you for sharing that, Jimmy, by the way. Also, there is, I just want to add a little to that. There is a website. It's called creditboards.com. So if you're interested in looking, to see what a credit bureau, a creditor may pull from, then that's a website where you can look up and see if that creditor is on that website. It'll show what credit bureau that they pull from. So that website is based on crowdsourcing information. Okay, crowdsourcing information from consumers that have noticed hard inquiries on their credit reports. So they collected all of this information by several consumers and put it all together into that one website with the information. So, for example, if you wanted to know, if you were trying to apply to, say, Navy Federal Credit Union, okay, basically you would just go on that site, creditboards.com, and, see if Navy Federal Credit Union was listed there. And, then should show you what credit bureau that they're pulling from. Now, keep in mind, however, that what credit bureau that they pull from, it will differ depending on what state that you live in. Okay. So, for example, Chase may pull from one particular credit bureau for somebody who lives. I'm just giving a per example here, hypothetical. Don't quote me on this. Chase may pull from Equifax for someone who lives in, say, Washington, but they may pull from another bureau from someone who lives in Florida. Okay. So that's just, one of the criteria, it depends on what state that they live in. Like someone in Texas have a you know may have their credit pulled from a different bureau than someone who lives in North Carolina, who'd applied to the same creditor, but had it pulled from a different credit bureau too, also as well. So it does depend on what state that you live in, for sure. So guys, not sure if there's any more comments, but I do want to say also a special thank you to Sherry Baker, because I know we didn't mention her when we were recognizing everyone who contributed here in tonight's live stream, and that's because Sherry had just came on probably 10 minutes ago. So we are recognizing you right now, Sherry, and saying special thank you to you, and let you know that we appreciate that you decided to join us here in our live stream too, also as well. So if you have missed the topic of today's live stream, if you just came on recently, um, all we talked about a new bill that is talked about and pushed by Kamala Harris, presidential candidate, concerning including rental payments, cell phone payments, and utility payments into credit scores, and having the credit bureaus do that as a mandatory practice, mandated by law. And how she planned on mandating that was amending the Fair Credit Reporting Act to require these credit bureaus to include these payments into their scoring models, too, also as well. Um, Also, it's gotten some support from Republicans too, also, because you guys know Senator Kamala Harris is a Democrat. So it's gotten support from both sides of the aisle. This is what the article that we were reviewing today in today's topic we're talking about. And so Sherry, I'm not going to go into all the details of today's topic, but you're definitely welcome to watch the replay to today's topic, and you can see the entire discussion and the main points of today's topic too, also as well. So I do appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining, Sherry. So I guess like I said, it was going to be a short live stream tonight. uh Janelle says it's so short. How long were we on? An hour and okay, Janelle says about an hour and 10 minutes that we've been on. So we do have our regular live streams every Wednesday here on this channel at 8:15 p.m. Central Time. So if you're new, I just wanted you to know that we will be back every Wednesday for sure at 8:15 p.m. Central Time. We do make other videos during the week on different times, and they're not any set times or set days. The only set day that we do have is our commitment to you for every Wednesday at 8:15 p.m. Central Time for our live streams. So I do want to thank all of you guys for joining too, also as well. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. There's a big red subscribe button that says subscribe here. Click the bell notifications, and there's a motorcycle outside. Sorry, guys. Click the bell notifications and make sure that you select all notifications. That way, you will never miss a single video as I make them here on this channel, too, also as well. And go ahead and hit the share button and share this video everywhere with all of your friends and your family members on your social media networks on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. And also, give this video a thumbs up, guys. It really helps out the channel, and it also helps with the YouTube algorithms too, also as well. And all the links to contact me can be found at the bottom of the about section of this channel. Too, also as well. You can follow me there on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and Instagram too, also as well. You can like our Facebook page. It's called How to Get an 800 Credit Score. There's a link there to like the page and to join our Facebook group. There's a link there too, also as well. The name of our Facebook group is called How to Get Excellent Credit. You could definitely find that link there at the bottom of the About section of this channel. Click on it. When you get to the group, just go ahead and click on Join, and you'll be part of the group where we welcome you there. You're free definitely to share as much as you like and post as much as you like about your credit building experiences, anything about credit. If you found an article you wanted to share with the group, go ahead and share that too also as well. If you had good news, your credit score went up a few points, you can share that as well. We're always happy to know that because it definitely encourages and motivates others too in the credit building community too also as well. So I want to thank you guys all for joining us too also. And also there is a link to join our Patreon. That can be found at the bottom of the About section too of this channel. And by joining Patreon, it helps to support our efforts to spread the message, to help as many people as we can to increase their credit scores to and join me on my journey to excellent credit too also as well. So thank you so much, guys, for joining tonight. I really appreciate all of you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good night and stay blessed.